My Pet Slime, Book 3. My Gort Ball. I knew I should have taken my backpack to lunch with me. I said sometimes we think something is missing, but really we've just misplaced it. Miss Cyril said I didn't misplace anything. I cried. I think Claire stole it. What are you blaming me for? Claire said. You were the one who wanted to know what I had in my backpack. I said. Everyone else was minding their own business. Now you're upset, Pippa, Miss Sarah said, but it's not okay. It's not okay to access Clara. She walked out his classroom at the same time you did. Went to the bathroom during indoor recess, I said. And she took a really long time in there. Enough time to come all the way back there and open my backpack. It was trying to turn the sink off, Clara said. I went to the bathroom right after you, and I turned the sink off. No problem, I said. Now, Miss Sarah said, why don't you tell us what's missing, and we can help you look for it? I don't help people who call me a liar, Claire said. Prove you're not a liar, I said. Let me see inside your backpack. You can't look in my backpack, Claire said. What? That proves that you're a liar. It doesn't prove anything except that you're completely weird, Clara said. There wasn't even anything in there except some empty lunch. Container and dust rag. It was blanky. That proves you did go in my backpack. Clara, is that true? Miss Sarah asked. Before Clara could answer, I grabbed her backpack out of her cubby. Hey, she said. She grabbed it back from me, and there was a rip sound. She broke it. She broke my backpack. It fell to the ground. Some pencil and eraser and her scooter helmet stumbled out, but no Cosmo. Pippa, Clara, I think you both need to take a trip to Mr. Gulbet, Miss Sarah said. But I have my show and tell about my dog buddy. All ready to go, Clara said. And I didn't rip her backpack on purpose, I said. I only did it because she stole something out of mine. I already told you there wasn't anything in yours. Theo, will you walk them to the principal's office? Miss Serto asked. Sure, Theo said. Miss Sarah wrote a note to Miss Goblet and handed it to Theo. I guess she didn't trust Claire or me to deliver it. We'll walk down the hall. Clara was grumbling about missing show and tell. But who cares about missing show and tell? You're missing your pet? I don't want a pet my whole life. Now I finally had one, and she's already gone. I didn't believe that Clara didn't find him in my backpack. But if she didn't put him in her backpack, where was he? I hope wherever he was, it wasn't too dark and scary, and we're breathing holes. He's alive, right? Or back to being plain slime? If he was alive, he must be so scared. Poor little Cosmo. What if I never saw him again? Tears sprinkled behind my ears a bit my lip to keep from crying in front of Clara. We got to the principal's office. Phil gave the note to Miss Kern. Miss Goblet's assignment. You can go back to class now, Miss Clara told him. You two sit right here, she said, pointing to the bench right outside Miss Goblet's office. He'll call you in soon. You hear Miss Goblet on the phone on the other side of the wall. She has the kind of voice that's loud, even when he's just regular talking. It makes him even scarier. There's a big knock on the wall above Miss Clara's desk, and I watched. The minutes ticked by. It's your fault that we're missing all the show and tell, Clara whispered to me. A few minutes passed. I heard Miss Goblet say, All right, Bill. Call me back when you have the answer on that. Something buzzed on Miss Clara's desk. Pipper, Clara, you may go in now. Miss Goblet was sitting behind a large wooden desk. She's really tall, so even when she's sitting down, he's taller than most kids. Clara and I each took a seat in the chair in front of him. Tell me what's happening, girls, he said. His voice was so loud that it injured for a second. It was quiet, and so was Cheryl. Then we both started talking at the same time. She went into my backpack, I said. She called me a liar, Clara said. She was a liar, I said. And she ripped my backpack, Clara said. Miss Goblet held up his hand. It was as big as a basketball. One at a time, he boomed. Clara, what happened? We got back to our class after recess. Pipper said I stole something of her backpack, but I didn't. What's in your backpack, Pipper? Miss Goblet asked. It was slime. I made it last night. Slime? Clara asked. You're being this weird about homemade slime? My Chin's bird. It was special, I said. It made the slime into a pet. She's purple all over with a rounded head and a teeny mouth. A big eye. She's about this big. I held up my hand to show the size of a kitten. And he's just the cutest thing I ever seen. You were talking to the slime like it wasn't alive, Charles said. Weirdo. I didn't let anyone see it, I told Mr. Goblet. But Clara kept asking me about it. And she took a long time going to the bathroom at lunch. She pretended the sink was broken. But really, she went into my backpack. I didn't take anything out of it, she said. Now she's lying again. I'm not. I swear on my dog Buddy's life that I'm not. Miss Goblet's phone rang, and he held up his hand again. Hello, he said in the phone. Oh, Bill, thanks for getting back to me so quickly. Hang on, please. He put his hand over the mouthpiece and looked down at us. Girls, I have a deal with the order for a new smartboard in the aura, he said. Pipper, I'm sorry you lost your slime, but Clara said she didn't take it, and I believe her. Is Pipper going to be punished for saying I didn't something when I didn't? Clara asked. Yes, Miss Goblet said. What? I asked at the same time that Clara said. Good. I felt the tears picking again. First I got punished at home. Now I was punished No, I was going to be punished at school. Worst of all, Cosmo was still missing. You both going to be punished, Miss Goldblatt said. We don't fastly accept people at this school, Pipper. We don't touch other people's property, neither, Clara. So this afternoon, you two are going to stay an extra half hour to help Miss Leo sweep the third grade classroom. Miss Leo is the janitor at school, but I was a good citizen at lunch. Clara said, I put out the paper towels down so the floor wouldn't get too wet. It's your job to be good cousin all day long, every day, Miss Goldblatt said. Miss Charles will take care of letting your parents know what's happening. Go on. Now I need to finish this phone call. He uncovered the mouthpiece. Bill, I'm back. He waved one of his giant hands at us to let us know we're supposed to walk out the door. And so we did. The clean team. Miss Kara gave us a note to bring to Miss Sarah. By the time we got back to class, show and tell was over. Not that, I tried. The only thing that I cared about was Cosmo. I couldn't concentrate on any of the afternoon lesson. I pictured Cosmo escaping from whatever Claire had hidden him and wandering through the hall of our school looking for me. She couldn't talk, so he could ask anyone to find me. And even if he could talk, he turned back to slime whenever anyone saw him. Besides me, kids could run into the hall and squish him to death under their shoe. The bell rang at the end of the day. Everyone was dismissed except for Clara and me. We had to wait for Mr. Leon. Mrs. Sarah sat at their desk, and I did paperwork. Clara and I sat next to each other at our table. Beefy. Cosmo, where are you? I saw. Stop staring at me, Clara said. I'm not staring. Yes, you are. No, I'm not. That's enough, Mr. Turtle said. Knock, knock, a voice called from the doorway. Hey there, Miss Leo, Miss Turtle said. Looks like you have some helpers today. She picked up her bag. Have a good afternoon, girl, she told us. Tomorrow is a new day. All right, clean team, Miss Leo said. You're ready to make some move? Yeah, Claire and I mumbled. Mr. Leo curled as a hand to his ear. I said, you ready to make some moves? Yeah, we said a little bit louder. Mr. Leo said, call me crazy, but I don't think you two are happy to being hanged out with me this afternoon. I'm sorry, I told Mr. Leo. It's not because of you. Something important to me is missing. That's why I'm unhappy. It's just slime, Clara said, rolling her eyes. And I'm unhappy because Pipper thinks it's my fault, but it's not. Are there any discussion characters about the missing slime? Mr. Leo asked. Oh, yes, I said. It's purple and as big as a kitten, but with a rounded head, big eyes, and teeny mouth, and little arms that are just long enough for cuddling. Clara rolled her eyes again. Have you seen anything like it? I asked. I don't believe I have, Mr. Leo said, but I'll keep an eye out on. Luckily for you, I happen to know the best method for finding lost things. What? Cleaning, he said. He turned to Clara. And even if it's not your fault that paper slime is missing, helping. To find it would be a good courteous thing to do. Yeah, but it's not like it. But it's not like it. I asked. I don't believe I have, Mr. Leo said, but I'll keep an eye on it. Luckily for you, I happen to know the best method. What? Cleaning, he said. He turned to Clara, and even if it's not your fault that paper slime is missing, helping you find it would be a good courteous thing to do. Yeah, but it's not like I'll get to make morning assessment or anything, she said. Hey, you never know, Mr. Leo said. So what do you say? Can we get started? Fine, Clara said. Okay, I said. First bump, Mr. Leo said. He held out a fist, and we both bumped in. Now, on to Mrs. Wade's classroom. Why don't we start right where we are? Clara asked. I always start with Mrs. Wade's room, Mr. Leon said. You know why. Why? Because she's teaching in classroom 3A, and A comes before B. B in the alphabet. Come before B in the alphabet. Let's make some move. He flopped his head, and he crosses the hall. Clara and I, just a regular, walked. Miss Walt had put all her student name up on the board on the sunshine-shaped construction paper. In our classroom, our names are on diamonds. Mrs. Wade's room also has a desk set up in rows. Miss Sarah had pushed our desks together to make table A and table B. Mr. Leo told us to lift the chairs on the desk. That way it'll be easier to slip under them. I checked under every single desk looking for Cosmo, but I didn't find him. Then all the chairs were lifted. I took turn holding the dustpan. Good job, clean team, Mr. Leo said. Now on to 3B. Let's make some move. Back in our classroom, we lift the chairs again. I looked for Cosmo under every desk, especially Clara's desk, but he wasn't there. I need a break, Clara said after the last chair was lifted. She leaned it against the back cabin, accidentally knocking Mr. Swimmer's fish flake into the floor. Oh, no. No biggie, Mr. Leo said. That's what the broom is for. Can you bring over the dustpan? I don't have it, Clara said. Me neither, I said. You used it last, she said. No, you did. No, you. Oh, maybe I did, she said. But that means it was your turn to remember to bring it back here. Mr. Leo started to laugh. What's so funny? Clara asked. Nothing at all, Mr. Leo said. You two take a break. I'll grab the dustpan. He went across the hall. I scooped up a half full of fish flake. Why are you doing that? She asked. Mr. Leo said. he'll sweep it up. Just getting a head start, I said. You're only doing that to be better good citizen. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. She slid off the back cabinet, scooped up a giant handful of fish flake, and ran towards the garbage can next to Miss Sarah's desk. Ah! She gasped. She took a couple steps back and knocked into a whiteboard. The flake she was holding fell to the ground. What's happened? I said. There's something there, something alive in the garbage can. My heart started humping. I raced over. Could it be him? Please, please, let him be Cosmo, I cried. Almost a happy ending. He was sitting on the top of a bunch. I crumbled paper. I scooped him up and cuddled him close. I was so worried about you, I said. How did you end up in there? Cosmo didn't answer. He just made his good Cosmo sound. There was a rubber band stuck into his head and a tissue stuck to his body. I pulled them off and brushed away the Oreo crumb around his mouth. You ate my lunch, didn't you? I said. Cosmo gurgled. I'm sorry. I didn't realize you need food since you're slime. But of course you do, because anything that's alive needs food, no matter what it's made out of. That the slime you made? Clara asked. I nodded. It is. But now what is it? Am I dreaming? He started out as plain slime, I said. I scooped him into a pat. Then someone placed dust fell on him. That's when he came to life. How? Clara said. ICBI. Huh? I can't believe it, she said. He turned back to the slime in front of my parents. I thought that meant I was only one he could come alive for. But he's alive for me, too, Clara said. I nodded. Maybe he can be alive for kids, but not adults. Maybe, Clara said. You're right about one thing. He's the cutest thing I ever seen, except for Buddy. That is okay. It is okay if I pet him? Sure, I said. Clara, let me introduce your Cosmo. Cosmo, this is Claire. Clara reached out her hand and ran her fingers across Cosmo's soft, slimy back. I didn't take him out of your backpack, Paper, Clara said. I swear. I hope you believe me. I believe you, I said. I left it open a little bit so he could breathe. I think maybe he's opened it all the way himself and climbed out to look for me. How do you think he ended up in the garbage can? Maybe Mrs. Squirrel came in the room and saw that he was just plain slime, so he threw him away. Poor Cosmo, Clara said. Please don't tell anyone about him, I said. I cried to tell my mom this morning. He took like regular slime, so to her. So that's what she thought. I think he's supposed to be a secret. I won't tell, Clara said. I promise. I'm going to teach him tricks like you taught Buddy, I said. He's already know how to sit, sort of. If I push his butt down, he says. What else can Buddy do? Oh, a lot of things, Clara said. He can fetch balls and lie down and hold a paw or for a shake. You want to learn all that, Cosmo? I said. he made his girl sound. Girls, Miss Leo said. Clara and I both jumped. I didn't mean to scare you, he said, and I didn't mean to take so long. I needed to help find the missing mop. How are you guys doing? We're all good, Clara said. Everything is totally normal. Better than normal, I said. You found the mop and I found my slime. That is right there, Miss Leo asked. Yep, Cosmo had turned back to plain slime in my arm, but he still looked cute to me. That's the best looking slime I ever seen, Miss Leo said. I'm glad you found it. Actually, Clara found it, I said, but Pippa made it. Clara said, if she didn't make it, there wouldn't have been any to find. That's surely true, Miss Leo said. Way to go. Way to go. Clean team. I love a happy ending. Almost happy ending, I said. We will still need to sweep this room. You two, ready to make some move with the dustpan? Mr. Leo asked. Yes, Clara and I said. Oh no, Grandma. About an hour later, I was back at home. Dad was in his office, still working on the thought selection of his book. He told me I had to play alone. That's fine with me, because I wasn't actually alone. I never had to play alone again. I had Cosmo. I sat down on my bedroom floor and patted the rug beside me. Come here, Cosmo, I said. Sit. He sat all by himself. Oh, good boy, I said. Now I'm going to teach you to play fetch, like Charles' dog. Buddy, I held up a tennis ball, then rolled it across the room. You go get it and bring it back, okay? Cosmo gurgled, which I took as a yes. Where we go, I said. I rolled the ball. Get it, boy. Cosmo hopped after the ball, scooped it up, and brought it back. You're a natural at fetching, I told him. Let's play again. I rolled the ball. Cosmo took a couple of steps towards it, but then he seemed to change his mind about fetching. He turned around and hopped into my lap. Oh, you just want to snuggle? He asked. Well, that's okay too. Let's snuggle. You can do tricks later. You had a long day. I hugged Cosmo in my lap. He felt so cozy. I didn't care about being energetic anymore. Even if I wasn't allergic to anything, and I could have whatever pet I wanted. Out of all the pets in the wild world, I'd still pick Cosmo. Dad pushed open the door, and Cosmo turned back to regular slime. Hey, there's Pippa, he said. You wrote to Grandma Sadie last night, didn't you? Yep, I thanked her for my space dust. It was actually a much better present than I thought. Just so you know. Oh, why's that? He asked. Oh, no reason, I said. Well, you didn't, by any chance, get an email back from your grandma, didn't you? I hadn't checked yet. Let's check now, Dad said. Okay, I said. I scooped up Cosmo. He was just a slime blob in front of Dad, but I still wanted to keep him near me. We walked down the hall to Dad's office. Dad pulled up the desk chair in front of his computer so I could sit down and log on. I type in my email address and password. Anything from Grandma Sadie? He said. No, not yet, I said, but I'm going to write her another email anyways. I have something important to tell her. What? It's private, I said. It was about Cosmo. Of course, I wanted her to know that the space dust did to my slime and gave her an extra big thank you. But I didn't want Dad to see because I knew he wouldn't understand. Dad was still standing right next to me. That means I need privacy, I told him. Oh, right, of course, he said. And he took a step back, but his voice sounded funny. He looked funny, too. His forehead was all scrunched up, the way it gets when he's worried about something. Is something wrong? I asked. Oh, it's probably nothing, Dad said. You know your grandmother. She goes off on adventures all the time. But what? Mom got a call from Grandma Sadie's boss, an auto bus explorer, he said. He was supposed to blast off a new trip this morning. He probably fine, but he didn't come in, and they don't know where she is. They don't know where she is, I replied. And Dad nodded. You mean she's missing? I asked. I'm afraid so, he said. Oh no, Grandma Sadie, I cried. First, can't be taught how to sit or fetch a ball or anything like that, but it can figure out how to think around and find food when the science put barrier in between pea, slime, and its food. The slime worked out all the way around the bars to get what it wants. Sometimes it seems to be a little bit scared and it wouldn't move. But then it learned not to be scared of the berry anymore. That's a pretty good lesson to gather up your courage and face your fears. Who knew slime would be such a great teacher? Maybe one day science will discover a slime that's brave as well, as cute as Cully, like Cosmo. In the meantime, there'll be plenty of Cosmo and Pippa adventure to enjoy. The end.